Hello, everyone, and welcome to a worksheet review of Module 5 with the demand curve. So we'll go through this through this video. We're going to go through the worksheets that were part of your homework assignments. So we'll take a look at the answers and make sure that you have everything that you should for the worksheets. And if you have any questions as you go through these, you bring these back to myself, and we will be more than happy to go over these. All right, make sure the pens work. All right, so the first thing here, we're looking at uh, the worksheet 5.1 and about demand and supply explained. And there is a demand curve or a demand video from Jacob Clifford that's listed on our website. So it says, state the law of demand. Um, Once again, the law of demand is that basic inverse law where as price goes up, quantity demanded falls, and as price goes down, quantity demanded rises. That's that inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay. Then it says, what are the three reasons that demand curve is downward sloping? You should know it's the substitution effect, the income effect, substitution effect, income effect, and then the law of diminishing marginal utilities. I'm just going to abbreviate the law of diminishing marginal utilities. Okay. And then it asks, what are the determinants of demand? It said the 5. I like to talk about them as 6. I like to use the acronym CSI PET. All right, CSI PET. So I like to use the first one, complementary goods, the price of complementary goods, the price of substitutable goods, income, income, population, expectations, and then tastes, fads, and preferences. Those are the determinants of demand. I believe the video just says tastes and preferences, number of consumers, price of related goods, income, about normal and inferior, and then price expectations, which in my notes, we essentially do the same thing. Question 4 says, explain the difference between the change in demand and a change in quantity demand and change in demand. Remember, if you were to graph this, here, so I'll put price, quantity, price, quantity, demand here, demand here. So I'll use a different color. So a change in quantity demanded would be going from here A to B to C or vice versa. So a change in quantity demanded is a change in price leads to a change in quantity demanded. Once again, going from B to A is a decrease in quantity demanded. Going from B to C is an increase in quantity demanded. Remember, the numbers get bigger this way and the numbers get bigger that way. So going from B to A is an increase in price, but a decrease in quantity demanded. Going from B to C is a decrease in price, but an increase in quantity demanded. Now, a change in demand would be a shift. So this shifting right, that would be an increase in demand, or a shifting left would be a decrease in demand. Now, this shifting is all of these things right here from question 3, the determinants of demand. Remember, determinants of demand shift. So price can change and the movements will be along the demand curve. That's the quantity change, right? That's a quantity demanded. Where when the demand curve shifts right or left, because of the determinants, that's a shift, all right, in demand or a change in demand. Okay. So those are, that's worksheet 5.1, 5.1. So if we go to 5.2, 5.2 It says, once again, watch the demand or watch the video here that I have the link on the website. It says for question 1, the law of demand in the downward sloping demand curve tells us which of the following. That would be, oops, my pen is not writing. That would be D. The inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Number 2, what causes a change in quantity demanded? That is a change. Every time I take the pen away, would be a change in the price of the good. The other ones, those are shift changers. Well, some of them are shift changers. Some of them have nothing to do with it right now. And then 3 says an increase in demand is shown on a graph by how. So an increase in demand. So we have a demand curve here. Again, this is quantity. This is price. It says an increase in demand. Well, an increase in demand would be this, right? So that answer would be D, a shift of the demand curve to the right. Okay, a shift in the demand curve to the right. So then that takes us to 5.4. 5.4, all right? And this one here says, practice your graphing skills with this worksheet. You're given several different scenarios. Graph the new situation, so it shows you a change that occurs. Circle where indicates whether there has been a change in demand or a change in quantity demanded. So you would circle whether it's a change in demand or a change in quantity demanded on the side. Be sure to show the new equilibrium. Okay, so this first one here says the price of peaches is $2.29 on Monday, and on Thursday the price of peaches goes up to $2.79. So what we're saying is it's sliding up to here, right? Slides up to there. So we knew we were at this quantity right here. We'll call that Q1. Now we're at Q2 and we're at 279. Now, if we were to draw a supply curve, because usually when there's a slide on the demand curve, that typically means that there's a shift in demand in the supply curve. So when we slide on the demand curve, usually it means there's been a shift in demand curve. If we were going to, label them all, like if we were going to put the 2 in there, I know we haven't done that yet. But this one here, this is an increase in price, which causes a decrease in quantity demanded. So what changed? Quantity demanded. So this is a decrease in quantity demanded. The price went up, which caused the decrease in quantity demanded. We look at number 2. Number two says the incomes in the city of Downsville has decreased by 20% due to the closing of a large factory. What happens to the peach market in a local grocery store? So once again, if the income falls, right, we know that it's going to shift this way, right? So this is a decrease in demand. This is a decrease in demand. Now, once again, if we had the supply curve, which we don't, but if we had the supply curve there, we would see that the equilibrium price would fall with that shift. But that will be once we put the supply and demand curve together. But there's a decrease in, because there's a decrease in income, we're making the assumption this is a normal good. So therefore, the demand curve will shift to the left. So this is a shift left, oops, and it's a decrease in demand. So that's number 2. Number 3 tells us, suppose the American Heart Association declared that peaches promote good health. Well, promoting good health, that's a fad. So we'll see the demand curve shift to the right. So that would be an increase in demand. So that's a change in demand. Once again, if we had the supply curve on there also, we would see that if we had the supply curve on there also, we would see that the market price would actually go up, right? If we had the supply curve. But this is a shift right in demand, which means it's an increase in demand. Number four tells us you and your friends expect that the ability to download songs from the internet for free will end in 3 months, and then downloads will be for purchase only. Show what happens to the market tomorrow. So, because of this, what are we going to see? We're going to see a shift right in the demand curve. That's an increase in demand. Okay, an increase in demand because people are going to run out and do it because they know the price is going to go up in the future. So we would see this demand curve too. Okay. Then five tells us or asks us, five asks us, the price of popcorn goes from $5 to $3. $5 to $3. So this is $5 right here, and it goes to $3. It doesn't tell us anything else. It goes to $3 right here. So this is a decrease in price, which leads to an increase in quantity demanded. Now, typically, what will cause that would be if there was a shift right in the supply curve. That's typically what causes that to happen. Okay. But once again, we haven't talked about supply curve yet and really haven't focused on the market. Okay. So that's five. Then six says, now show the change that occurs in the apple market given the following. Peaches and apples are substitutes. Peaches and apples are substitutes. The price of apples increases. So let's think about this. If this is apples, okay, this is apples, okay, and it says the price of apples increases. So the price of apples goes from here to here, right? So that's an increase in price. So we know that for apples, that's going to be a decrease in quantity demanded. But we said they're substitutes. So what are people going to buy instead of apples? They're going to buy more peaches. So for peaches, that's an increase in demand. For peaches, come on, why is it? It's an increase. Come on, where's my pen? Oh boy. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why this technology here. Oh, come on. I don't know what just happened with my pen. Oh boy. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So that would be an increase in demand for peaches. All right, an increase in demand for peaches because we could see that less people are going to buy apples and more people are going to buy peaches. So that's number six. So then that goes to 5.5, and 5.5 asks you the different scenarios here. So if we go through the different scenarios here. So if good A and B, so this is you're going to put what happens if it's an increase or decrease in that's supposed to be an increase. I don't know why that didn't. I don't know why you should be putting an increase. What the heck is going on with my pen? An increase or a decrease. I don't know why that changed it. So an increase in demand would be a shift right, and a decrease in demand would be a shift left. So it says here, if good A and B are substitutes, and the price of good B rises, all right, what's going to happen to good A? What's going to happen to good A? So if the price of good B rises, more people are going to buy good A, so you're going to have an increase in demand of good A. If good A and B are substitutes and the price of good B falls, then what's going to happen to good A? You're going to see a decrease in demand, a shift left. If good A and good B are complements, and good B and the price of good B rises, what are we going to see? We're going to see a decrease in demand for good A. And then for the next one, if they're complements and the price of good B falls, then we'll see an increase in demand of good A. Remember, this whole row is about good A. What's happening to good A? Good A, right? So changes in income. Changes in income. Let's slide down here a little bit. Changes in income. So if A is a normal good and your income rises, then we're going to see, come on, why is this? Oh, goodness gracious. We'll see an increase in demand. If your income falls, good A. If it's a normal good, you'll see a decrease in demand. Then it says if good A is an inferior good, if good A is an inferior good and your income rises, well, then you're going to buy less of that inferior good. And if your income falls, you're going to buy more of that inferior good. Okay? Oops. So 3 here says a change in tastes, right? So if tastes change in favor of good A, you're going to see an increase in demand here. And if it's not, if it's against good, your taste change and it fades, you don't want it anymore, then it's a decrease in demand. Then changes in expectation. If um, if the price of good A is expected to rise in the future, what's going to happen today? If it's a rise in the future, right? You're going to buy more today. You're going to buy more today, so your demand will increase. And if you expect future prices to fall in the future, you're going to buy less today because you're going to buy more in the future. Number 5, change in the number of consumers. If the number of consumers rises, you will see an increase in demand for A. And if you see the number of consumers fall, you'll see a decrease. Wow, this pen is really, it takes a not a triple A, a quadruple A battery. I just bought it and I don't know why. There we go. All right, well, we're almost done here. Let's go to the exit slips. The exit slip. So if we take a look, it says all the following would decrease demand in the latest style furry boots, except the latest style furry boots, except. So all of these would be a decrease in demand, right? So a decrease in demand would be a shift left, right? A decrease in demand. All of these would cause a decrease in demand except for one. And which one is that? That would be the price of furry boots goes up. All right. That would be all the other ones would be shifting the demand curve to the left. The only one that doesn't do that is a change in price that slides it. Okay. The next one here, number 2, it says a decrease in the price of toothpaste in a tube can lead to a decrease in the purchases of toothpaste in a pump. This means what? What does that mean? A decrease in the price of toothpaste in a tube can lead to a decrease in the purchases of toothpaste in a pump. What does that mean? You should have calculated that and figured that was C, that toothpaste in the tube and the pump are substitute goods, and the demand curve for toothpaste in the pump will shift left. Will shift left. And the last one, number 3, suppose the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, suppose the Food and Drug Administration has written an article stating green tea reduces heart disease and many illnesses. What might be the immediate effect seen in the economy? That would be A, the demand curve for tea would increase, forcing the prices to go up. Now, why do we know the prices will go up? I know we haven't talked about the demand curve, but come on, why does this continue to do this? So if the demand curve increases to the right, we could see the equilibrium price will go up. Okay, once the demand curve shifts to the right. Okay. All right, so that's the end of Module 5 worksheets. Hopefully this will help you as you go through and look through your samples that you've done yourself. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.